Hello Mataji, and watching Hornbill TV. Imagine you and your neighbor follow different religions. But when it comes to getting married, getting divorced, inheriting property or adopting a child, the same set of rules applies to both of you. No difference, no special treatment, just one law for everyone. That's the core idea behind the Uniform Civil Code or UCC. The UCC is not a new thought. It has been sitting in Article 44 of the Indian Constitution for decades. It says, the state shall endeavour to secure a uniform civil code for all citizens throughout the country. In simple words, replace all the different personal laws based on religion with one common law for marriage, divorce, inheritance and adoption. Why? So that no matter what your faith, caste or gender is, you are treated equally under the law. At present, personal matters such as marriage, divorce, inheritance and adoption are often governed by religion-based personal laws. Because of this, different communities may follow different legal rules for similar issues. The Uniform Civil Code seeks to create a common legal framework so that the same civil laws apply equally to everyone. Supporters believe that the UCC is a powerful step towards ensuring gender equality, simplifying the legal system, and promoting national integration. They argue that one common law for all citizens can help remove legal confusion and provide equal protection and rights to people across communities. According to supporters, the UCC is not merely a legal reform but also an effort to create a more equal and unified society where citizens from different cultures and faiths stand on the same legal platform. Now, the Assam Uniform Civil Code. Now let us turn to Assam, where the debate over the Uniform Civil Code has moved beyond theory and entered the stage of legislation. On May 25, 2026, the Assam government tabled the Uniform Civil Code, Assam 2026, bill in the State Assembly. The bill was introduced by Cabinet Minister Atul Bora on behalf of Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma. The move immediately sparked intense discussion inside the Assembly, with members expressing sharply differing views on the proposal. After a heated debate that lasted several hours, the bill was passed by voice vote just 2 days later on May 27, 2026. Following the passage of the bill, Chief Minister Sarma announced that the legislation would now be sent to Governor for approval before being forwarded to the President for her final assent. Once it receives the President's assent, the Chief Minister said the Uniform Civil Code is expected to take effect within 3 to 6 months. The bill establishes a common legal framework covering marriages, divorces, succession and live-in relationships. It also introduces equal rights for daughters in their parents' property. In many ways, the legislation represents a major restructuring of how family-related civil matters would be governed in Assam for non-tribal citizens. Let us now look closely at the important changes this new law is expected to bring and understand them in simple terms. A single standard for marriage and the ban on polygamy. The bill sets a standard legal age for marriages by fixing it at 21 years for men and 18 years for women, bringing it in line with the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act. By doing this, the government seeks to ensure a uniform age standard across communities. And more significantly, the bill enforces compulsory monogamy, meaning a person cannot have more than one spouse at a time. It completely bans polygamy. And anyone who violates this provision could face imprisonment of up to 7 years. This means that regardless of religious identity, the law recognizes only one legally valid spouse at a time. Second, making marriages official and mandatory registration. Under the new law, simply having a religious ceremony will not be enough for a marriage to be legally recognized. All marriages will have to be officially registered with the government. Court will be required to submit a marriage memorandum to the local sub-registrar within 60 days of the wedding ceremony. The law also introduces penalties for deliberate delays in registration. A deliberate delay in registration, a marriage or divorce could attract a penalty of Rs 10,000. The reasoning behind mandatory registration is to create clear legal documentation. Supporters say that this can help reduce disputes and make legal matters involving marriage, divorce, inheritance and official documentation easier to manage. Now third, bringing live-in relationships under a legal framework. For the first time, a legal framework for live-in relationships is being introduced under the Assam UCC bill. According to the bill, couples in a live-in relationship will be required to register their relationship within 30 days. Failure to register could lead to imprisonment of up to 3 months, a fine of up to Rs 10,000 or both. The government argues that bringing live-in relationships under legal recognition can provide greater clarity and protection, particularly in matters involving legal responsibility, separation, and the rights of women and children. Fourth, ground for divorce and child custody. The bill establishes uniform grounds for divorce for everyone, doing away with religion-based rules that differ from one community to another. In matters of a child custody, the bill states that the custody of the children under 5 years of age should ordinarily remain with the mother. Supporters of the law view this as a measure intended to prioritize the welfare and stability of young children. Fifth, inheritance and equal rights for daughters. One of the most significant aspects of the Assam UCC bill relates to inheritance. The legislation introduces a gender-equal framework for succession and inheritance, meaning daughters will get equal rights to their parents' property. This right was not uniformly available under all personal laws. Supporters describe these as a major step towards gender justice and economic equality, arguing that equal inheritance rights strengthen women's financial security and legal standing within families. A few states have led the way. Assam is not the first state to move in this direction. In fact, Assam is the third state in India to pass a uniform civil code bill, following the path first charted by Uttarakhand and later by Gujarat. Uttarakhand made history in January 2024 when it became the first state in the country to pass its UCC bill. The state implemented its UCC in January 2025 and later introduced amendments to address various implementation-related issues. Gujarat followed next. In March 2026, Gujarat became the second state to pass a UCC bill. Tabled by Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel, Gujarat's law also made the registration of marriages and live-in relationships mandatory and banned polygamy. The Gujarat bill further proposed strict punishment for forced marriages, with imprisonment of up to 7 years. With Assam now joining the list, the conversation around the UCC is increasingly moving from political debate to state-level implementation. It is very important to note that the Assam UCC bill, like the one in Uttarakhand and Gujarat, explicitly exempts scheduled tribes from its purview. This includes both STs, hills and STs, plains, residing in Assam. Tradition, religious customs, practices and rituals have also been kept outside the law's scope. These exemptions are intended to protect the distinct customary laws and constitutional safeguards enjoyed by Assam's tribal communities. As a result, tribal communities covered under these exemptions will continue to follow their traditional customs and legal systems in personal matters. From celebration to criticism, as expected, the bill has drawn sharp reactions and has divided political opinion. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma defended the bill as a measure intended to ensure equality and uniform civil rights. He argued that the UCC would provide security for Muslim women by bringing them under the same legal protection as others. The PJP in Assam hailed the passage of the bill as a historic and transformational reform and a landmark reform to ensure equality. The opposition, including the Congress, AIUDF and other parties, strongly opposed the bill. They argued that it was not needed in Assam and warned that it could disturb social harmony. Opposition members demanded that the bill be referred to a select committee for more detailed scrutiny, but that demand was rejected. Some legislators staged a walkout in protest, alleging that the law had been introduced with malicious intent. AIMIM chief Azauddin Owaisi was also highly critical of the bill. He described it as a backdoor imposition of Hindu law on Muslims, while pointing to the exemption granted to tribal communities. These sharply contrasting reactions show that the debate over the Uniform Civil Code remains deeply political and emotionally charged, with supporters viewing it as a reform for equality and critics seeing it as a challenge to religious and cultural autonomy. The passage of the Assam Ucc bill marks a transformative shift in the state's legal landscape. With the bill now awaiting the President's assent, Assam is poised to move towards a uniform set of civil laws that will apply to all its non-tribal citizens. The legislation has the potential to reshape how marriage, divorce, inheritance and live-in relationships are legally governed in the state. Whether one view it as a progressive step towards gender equality and legal uniformity or as a threat to religious freedom and personal law traditions, one thing is clear. The Uniform Civil Code has moved from constitutional vision to legislative reality in Assam. As the bill moves through the final stages of approval and implementation, the larger national debate over the Uniform Civil Code is likely to become even louder and more significant in the years ahead.